Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. The top 10 most common counterfeit U.S. coins. Very interesting. This is an article that comes to us from NGC, who has quite a history in grading coins. Now, most of you know that with the modern coins, I'm not really a big fan of modern coin grading, but I am a big fan of modern coin authentication. And this particular article was inspired to me. I think somebody had emailed me, perhaps Small Gold or someone else, to link to a different story with many more selections. But I think it's fascinating to see the top 10 most counterfeited U.S. coins. And they've graded more than 33 million coins NGC has since 1987, and most of the coins it receives are genuine. They do receive hundreds of thousands of coins that are not counterfeits, altered dates, added mint marks, and other types of fakes. Not surprisingly, some coins are counterfeited more than others. So this particular list reveals the top 10 most counterfeited U.S. coins according to submissions received by NGC, one of the two most common coin grading companies and respected. Number 10 will be the 1925D quarter eagle coin. The Indian head, quarter, and half eagles were faked in substantial numbers decades ago, and many of these forgeries continue to appear in the marketplace. All dates and mint mark combinations are seen regularly, including relatively common dates like the 1925D quarter eagle. We're going to take a look at these closer here. Here we can see, and this looks fine to me. I'm curious to see how they were able to tell whether that was faked or not. That's interesting. Here's a reverse of the piece. Somehow there was something in this coin that has raised red flags, and but not being able to studying the details very closely on this particular coin. Maybe there's something in it, some small little marking or something like that that denotes it from an original or from the genuine article. Maybe it's this slash here. Maybe it's not that close to the one. Maybe it's some of the detailing in the arrows. It could be anything that could give it a hint or a clue as to why this is not a genuine coin. And number 9 is not close behind it. It is the 1912 quarter eagle. Another Indian head quarter eagle, the 1912, had a larger mintage than its 1925D counterpart, but is actually a rarer and high grade. Than MS63, for example, collectors can expect to pay $1,750 according to the NGC US Coin Price Guide. It's still in the same category. Number 8 is the 1911 quarter eagle. Although the 1911D quarter eagle is the key date in the series, its no mint mark Philadelphia counterpart is more often faked, at least based off submissions to NGC. This could be the case because the Philadelphia 1911 has the largest mintage in the series, and therefore the spurious coins blend in more easily. Or perhaps because collectors and dealers are far more cautious when looking at an example of the extremely rare 1911D. Quite interesting. Now we're moving along into the 1922 Lincoln Cent. So now we have the Lincoln Cent category here. The 1922 No D Lincoln Cent is one of the several well-known key dates in the Lincoln Cent series. Most of the fakes seen by NGC are altered mint marks. The 1922D is quite common, so counterfeiters will often use a tool to efface the mint mark. These are generally easy to detect, because you're going to have some striations or what have you. So it's altered, and they'll see some grinding marks or whatever, so they're pretty easy to detect. The 1909 S Indian Head Cent. And struck during the final year of the Indian Head series and the first year of the Lincoln Head Cent series, the 1909S had a mintage of just 309,000 coins, the lowest of all Indian Head cents. Even low-grade examples sell for hundreds of dollars. The Philadelphia 1909, however, had a mintage of more than 14 million coins, and values are significantly lower by comparison. As a result, some nefarious individuals had added S mint marks to these pieces in an attempt to pass them off as genuine 1909 S Indian head cents. Struck counterfeits are seen only occasionally. So here we see a left S mint mark and right an added mismark to the 1909 Indian head cent. So let's take a look at the added mint mark there. It's a little hard to tell, but that's interesting. A pretty good job of that. So this is a genuine mint mark on there, and you can see that there's nothing keeping it, or it looks pretty seamless. But this is a pretty good representation. But you can see some a little bit of altered activity here around the S, like it was put on there. But that's a pretty good fake, in my opinion. The naked eye, I probably wouldn't have been able to tell that was there. All right, moving ahead to number 5, 1882 $3 piece. It's a rare date with a mintage of only 1,500 coins, but it is not notably rarer than any other late date $3 coin. Why then is this counterfeit seen so frequently by NGC? A particular counterfeiter, known as the Omega counterfeiter, for the Omega symbol hidden on the fakes as a signature, targeted this coin. Significant quantities were produced, and these forgeries often surfaced when older collections are sold. While these fakes are high quality, they are easily detected if you know what to look for. And so actually I'm kind of curious. We'll see what this 1882 pieces. This is from an article that kind of tells us about it. There it is. And I'm kind of curious where that signature is, the Omega signature. And then the NGC price guide. Of course, with that guide, that counterfeiter is very famous, so it's going to command quite a premium for it as well. Very good. The so-called Omega fake $3 name for the Greek letter Omega that the counterfeiter used to mark his handiwork. The Omega counterfeiter is best known for the high-quality 1907 high-relief $20 fakes, but several other series were targeted including the 1882 $3. On the Omega $3 coins, the signature can be seen within the loop of the R in Liberty. While the piece has been altered to the point where the Omega is very faint, on the other counterfeits it can be quite prominent. A few other forgeries were made by the Omega counterfeiter, and all can be linked by the presence of this Greek letter. The Omega high relief 20s are far more deceptive, but is still an above average counterfeit. So it's within the R, so let's see if we can see it. There it is. Wow. That's pretty amazing that he can do that so discreetly. There it is. That's fascinating indeed. Pretty amazing. And let's see it here. There it is, right there. Pretty amazing stuff. All right. Let's see here. The 1914 D Lincoln cent is number 4 on the list. Although not quite as rare or as famous as the 1909 SVDB Lincoln cent, the 1914 D Lincoln cent is still very scarce and desirable. Its mintage of just under 1.2 million specimens is low for a 1-cent coin. The 1914 D was overlooked when it was issued, and therefore high-grade examples are difficult to locate. In fact, mint state 1914 D cents are rare and more valuable than 1909 SVDB cents. Interesting. Most of the counterfeit 1914 Lincoln cents, D Lincoln cents that the NGC sees are complete forgeries, although we do encounter some added mint mark examples and the occasional altered date. The 1914 Quarter Eagle, with the second lowest mintage in the series, 240,000 coins, the 1914 sells at a premium to every other Indian head Quarter Eagle save for the key date 1911D. Mint state examples are particularly scarce, with gems MS65 selling for more than $20,000. The NQ's design of Indian head quarter and half eagles makes them more challenging to authenticate, and many coin dealers rely on NGC to to definitively determine whether an example is authentic or not. The 1914 quarter eagle may be the date that is most commonly faked, but counterfeits of all dates in these series are routinely seen by NGC. Number 2 is a 1916D Mercury dime. The 1916D Mercury, or Winged Liberty is really the correct name, is a legendary key date with a minuscule mintage of just 264,000 coins. Struck during the first year of this popular series, which celebrates its 100th anniversary this year. Just 1916 is when the article was written. 1916D has long been in high demand among collectors. According to the price guide, collectors should pay close to $1,000 even for the lowest graded specimens. Prices quickly escalate in better grades and can top $10,000 in AU55. These values make this coin a tempting target for counterfeiters. Many added mint mark examples are seen since the Philadelphia 1916 has such a high mintage in comparison. Outright counterfeits also exist, and NGC has seen some deceptive pieces that are created by cutting a genuine 1915 or Philadelphia 1916 through the edge and joining the top half with the side taken from a D mint mark issue. Quite fascinating indeed. Now, the number 1 most counterfeited coin, as you guessed it, the 1909 VDBS Lincoln Cent, one of the most famous of the high dollar coins. It's the U.S. key date, is also the U.S. coin that is most commonly faked. Even people outside the hobby have heard of the 1909 SVDB, and anyone who has ever collected Lincoln Cents has had this coin on their want list. Only 484,000 examples were struck before it was decided to remove Victor David Brenner's initials from the reverse. Although many were saved by people interested in the new Lincoln Cent design, collector demand exceeds that supply. Mid-range circulated examples can easily fetch $1,000 or more. NGC regularly sees added mint mark 1909 SVDB cents as well as outright counterfeits or even the occasional added VDB example. Interested in reading more, there's counterfeit detecting that I do have an article about it and numismatist. So quite fascinating indeed. And so here we can see the added S, and it's pretty apparent there that looks like it's added. Quite fascinating indeed. There you have it, the top 10 list of most common counterfeit coins according to NGC. I hope you enjoyed this article. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to y'all for watching and encourage you to please rate, comment, and subscribe.